I am a black man, unapologetic and proud. And I proudly stand on the backs of those, my ancestors who have risked their lives for me to be a black man that has the right to vote, a black man that has the right to own a home, to purchase land, to drink from the same water fountains, to sit in front of the bus, and to have my children attend schools with kids who don't look like them. I have been a victim of racism. I've been a victim of prejudice and a countless number of microaggressions due simply to the color of my skin. So I am deeply grateful for those who fought for my right as a black citizen of the United States of America. But there is something more important to my identity than being black, and that is being a Christian. And at the forefront of Christianity is the pursuit of truth. In other words, I, as a Christian, am choosing to elevate my identity as a Christian far above my identity as a black man. And in doing so, I am committed at all costs to seeking out truth.
Well, that was Allen Parr, Bible teacher, YouTube teacher, talking about being a black man and elevating the truth over anything else, or as it pertains to Charlie Kirk. You know, right before Charlie Kirk lost his life, the evening before, I had released a video refuting Allen Parr of another video that he had made showing a debate with Charlie Kirk and an abortion and things. And as a black man myself, I love the truth, and I love to do my research, for those of you that know. I was going to wait till I can get settled into the office there to make the video, but I said, you know, I just left the barbershop talking with my barber, and that's how being around other black men and how so many blacks really didn't know who Charlie Kirk was. And I told him, I've been following Charlie Kirk for 5 years now. I've been following the Turning Point organization. I've made videos on the Turning Point organization. So for those of you that are new, especially those of you that are black, that may listen to Allen Parr or so, that may not be aware of the Turning Point. We're not going to focus on Charlie Kirk as much. We're going to focus on Turning Point an organization. As you see these faces, these are the many faces that have been across, that have performed on that, with that, organization. And Charlie Kirk, a lot of people don't know that he's into the 7 Mountain Mandate. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you some clips here really quick so that you can see some of these things, to see that Allen Parr didn't do his homework. He didn't seek the truth. And Allen Parr is either in denial, or he either subscribes to these things, or he doesn't care. It's one of the it's some of that. So let's look at some of these Turning Point clips. For some of you that have been following me for a while, you've seen it. But let's just look so you can see what Turning Point, what kind of people perform on that type of so-called Christian organization.
Stalinist, communists, with a huge helping of Nazi fascists thrown in, plus wanting a caliphate, to replace every Christian democracy on earth, now occupied. Do you know that?
And Dr. Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, all in the Biden, they're a bunch of feral dogs, right? It's a family of feral dogs. We're going to have to fumigate the lies of Joe Biden, the treason of Joe Biden, and how enfeebled he is. After that, it's not the tapes. We're coming after Lisa Monaco, Merrick Garland, the senior members of DOJ that have prosecuted President Trump, Jack Smith. That's where you come in. You're the vanguard of this revolution. We're going to do what the Romans did to Carthage. We're going to salt the earth around it so there'll never be another building there again. We're going to rebuild something else. There'll be something that comes up and is rebuilt along the lines that's every FBI agent, all the CIA, DHS, Chris Ray, all of them. It's going to be a new day. And MAGA will run things. They're going to know that MAGA is not only ascendant, MAGA is in charge. It's very simple. Victory or death.
You see that? Retribution, hate, messages of, it's nationalism, as I talked about. A lot of these organizations, I think the problem is, unfortunately, a lot of people are in the assumption that the Republican Party, it's the Republican Party of old, of 15, 20 years ago. And I think that many people are in denial that, the old Republican Party is gone. It's MAGA now. It's no more Republican Party. It's a MAGA party that is authoritarianism and it's white nationalism, and they're hiding behind the banner of Christianity.
The right is two things. It is Christian nationalism and white nationalism. Blending those two things together is the project that we are engaged upon right now. Those two things equal America.
So Allen Parr made a video a while back where he was talking about schools and religious schools. And this is the thing. This is what this whole movement is about. They want to use they want to make society, the Christianity, the law of the land, an American Taliban style deal. That's what it boils down to. So let's look at this clip of Charlie Kirk real quick. This is a clip I had that I haven't shown many of you that have been following me, but let's look at him talking here to this false pastor, Jack Hibbs.
When I wake up at 2 a.m. and I hear a noise, I no longer think it's going to be the FBI.
That's true.
For me, no, we were on the list.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now I know Kash Patel, we're in a much better place.
You're not going to get that.
I'm not going to get the 2 a.m. knock. No, for 4 years.
That's right.
We lived under a Soviet-style sword of Damocles.
Yeah.
It was kind of hanging over us.
Yeah.
That could drop at any time.
Exactly.
And that's why when Trump won, I had that kind of reaction that I did.
You see Jack Hibbs? See Charlie Kirk talking, he was at the time talking about Biden and this, it was always these conspiracy things, that goes on with a lot of this stuff where that continues to go on. Speaking of that, because Charlie Kirk, many of you, for those of you that may not be aware, Charlie Kirk sent 350 students to the Capitol on January the 6th to take part in the overthrowing of the government. A lot of people don't. I was telling them at the barbershop that, and they did not know this.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They came from all 50 states. Out of some sense of patriotic duty.
It's so much more than just rallying for President Trump. It's really rallying for our way of life, the American dream, against fake news.
To protest an election they believed had been stolen.
We're here, Patriots. We're in Washington, D.C., Capitol building dead in front of us.
Their day of action would be January 6th. When Congress would count electoral ballots and ratify the 2020 election results. For some, it was just a rally for their president. For others, it was a call to arms.
We have the power in numbers. March on Congress directly after Trump's speech.
In the weeks beforehand, there were over 1 million mentions on social media of storming the Capitol. Maps were shared of the building's layout. There was talk of bringing weapons and ammunition, and discussion over which lawmakers should be targeted first. This anger was based on a lie.
This election was a fraud.
A lie that had grown more frenzied after the election.
President Trump won this election. They were flipping votes.
Steal the election in Philadelphia.
When you win in a landslide and they
steal the election in Atlanta.
And it's rigged.
Steal the election in Milwaukee.
It's not acceptable.
This is outrageous.
a lie spread by the president and his closest allies.
Let's call out cheating when we find it.
Some of whom stoked calls for violence.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow. Everyone's going to remember who actually stands in the breach and fights tomorrow and who goes running off like a chicken.
We bleed freedom.
This will be their Waterloo.
And we will sacrifice for freedom.
This will be their destruction.
What happens next was chaos.
They did not know that Albertson, the heir of Albertson's grocery stores, where I think that's the store, because we don't have any here, but funded this thing. Kimberly Guilford Newsom was paid $60,000 to speak that day at January the 6th. This is the crazy stuff that people don't understand. And then most of all, this whole thing is backed by the 7 Mountain Mandate stuff. So if you're not familiar with that, take a look at this.
Attempted advance of the enemy. We take back and permanently control positions of influence and leadership in each of the 7 mountains.
One of the most common expressions of dominionism is called 7 Mountains dominionism.
Take it from a Levite. Only 10% of the population is supposed to be involved with temple work. 90% takes territory.
The idea is that you can't take over society unless you take over the 7 crucial pillars. They realize that all of culture was against.
Reformation is different than simply a religious renaissance. It's the recapturing of institutions. Oh, this is what makes the left go crazy when I say these things. It's the recapturing of education, of media, of business, of government, and it's recapturing them with the ideas of Western civilization, which is the ideas of Christian civilization. What we're doing now, we've got a foothold with Paula White, but the expansion of that has got to be the underrepresented Christian population, which is over half the United States, in all sectors of what we call the high places of culture or the mountaintops of culture. That's my thoughts.
We're a big believer here, and we say all the time about seize the institution. You have to seize the institutions. How would you propose to use both these, the task force and the new faith office, to seize the institutions of the federal government?
There are 3 arteries that make this happen: legislation, litigation, and the shaping of public opinion. Legislation, litigation, and the shaping of public opinion. And while Paula White has to be careful what she says in public, I believe I might have learned that from her.
So you see where we're going with this. This is a theocracy. This is authoritarianism. It's gone. We are literally living in it right now, where Christians are literally trying to take over people's lives and take over, this society. And as a Christian myself, it's this, it burns me up, really. Like, who do we think we are to be so self-righteous, to think that we know everything, think that we can go around and impose our religious ideology and views on everybody, and then try to play like, well, it's better, it'll be better for society, so that. You know what's better? Preaching the gospel, following the lead of the Holy Spirit, and trusting in Jesus. And that's what it shows. It shows that anybody that rather resort to using politicians, resort to using the government, it shows that they don't really trust Jesus, is what it shows. It really shows that they don't trust the Holy Spirit. Because look at all of the churches that's been around for decades, sitting on their butts, sitting there doing nothing, letting communities fall apart, and not even doing what they're supposed to be doing with the gospel. But now you think that you can put some authoritarian in power, these pastors, that all of a sudden, and let me don't get ahead of myself, because my barber was talking about, because he's a Christian guy as well, and he was just talking about, back in some like in the bad neighborhoods, like in our city and things, how you get these churches and everybody want to run off. He was talking about there was a particular church, they want to run off to Brazil and run off to these various places to so-called do missions, when we have plenty of places right here in the United States to carry out missions, right here in our city, he was saying. And he said for a lot of them, it's like a vacation for many of these people. They ain't fooling nobody. They raise up the monies. And I say, you know, that is really a good point. I mean, think about it. Think about it. You got all of these people, they ready to run everywhere else. Yes, we're to share the gospel and spread it nationwide, but this nationwide, you know, worldwide. But think of the churches within the communities that have failed. You've got pastors that have put money in their pockets and people that are so focused on themselves. They rather have all of these meetings and all of these things to uplift themselves. And that's what you notice with a lot of this stuff that's going on. And Allen Parr, it's unfortunate because he spent so much time supposedly defending the truth about where everyone's got this thing wrong about Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk's not a racist and things and so, you know, but what's saddening is, you know, as a black man myself, as our particular race, we know the struggles that we've had. We know the struggles that we continue to have and that we battle against. And why is it that, you know, that it always has to be, people always have to bring our names up in their mouth like that, and people of color in general? If you notice, people in general, in color, people of color of all the colors and things are under attack. And he tries to minimize this as if it's no big deal. Oh, he didn't mean all of the black women. And I mean, come on, man. Come on. Use some common sense on that. Use some common sense. Why did their names have to even come out the mouth? I mean, there's a lot of other things that's going on. Why does it always have to make like, I mean, these women graduated, as we mentioned, at the top of their class. These women are no dummies and things. But let me show you some clips, and some of you that's been following me before, you've seen it, but for those of you that are new, that haven't seen, this is what they think about black women. This is what they think, these nationalist people. This is who I'm talking about, that are portraying themselves as Christian. So let's look.
Hello, knock, knock. Judge Jumanji. Judge Jumanji, Professor Toto needs to educate you. I don't care how educated you are. I need to re-educate you. I cannot even believe that stupidity rolled from Jumanji's jungle mouth. Yeah, it's a Jumanji jungle now. See, the problem is Jumanji jungle, Judge Jumanji jungle lips. The problem with it is this, yeah, because what's coming out of her lips is monkey sense. Not common sense. It's jungle monkey sense pouring out of your liberal lips, and you are a curse to this nation. You are a rodent in our republic. Your mindset is messed up. It is the enemy of the people. Disrobe yourself because you have dishonored yourself. There's Jumanji. There's Judge Jumanji jungle, monkey lips pouring out.
Y'all got to watch this little, I got to watch my mouth here because when I can talk about anybody unless they black. Okay. Y'all got to watch this. Don't call it no jungle bunny. Let's see. Y'all got to watch this. Let's go with the wig. How about that? Y'all watch this blonde wig head. Y'all got to watch this. Now, I can't talk about them like that because I get in trouble. Let me see. You can talk about anybody in the world. But anyway. They can talk about me all day long. They can call me. Look, they can still frame my face where, you can do anything you want to a white man. Anything you want to. But you can't say nothing. That's why they're driving me crazy, talking about Trump needs to choose a woman as his vice president or a black man as his vice president. I'm like, why? Says who? Where did y'all get that malarkey? Why not choose the best person for the job? Anyway, y'all listen to, let me look at it real close. I'll come up with a name.
And what he was saying there, this guy's a false pastor. Shane Vaughn is his name. He's a worshiping pastor, nationalist pastor, white nationalist. And he said, I don't want to call her no jungle bunny. I don't know if you caught that. He was talking about Joy Reid, calling her a jungle bunny. I mean, this is the kind of crazy stuff. And then, of course, he's calling Ketanji Brown jungle lips, talking about her, the typical monkey stuff that went on from back with us in the day. This is how they portray us. So when somebody lets that come out their mouth, it shows you what's in their heart. And for Allen Parr to sit there and think that it's okay with this nationalist stuff that's going on, tells me that he supports it. He's okay with that. He does not have a problem with Christian law, Christian anity being the law of the land. Now, did Jesus say, hey, you know, when I leave here, guys, I want to make sure that you guys run to the governments, you stand firm within the government, and make sure my gospel is spread through any, you know, whoever the leader is, make sure it gets to them and it comes through them to enact these laws to make sure that everybody in society act right, and we're going to straighten everybody up, and we're going to give everybody on one accord, and all is going to be well. Well, it's just like I mentioned in a previous video, you know, the judgment of God has fallen on America, and a lot of people don't even realize it. They don't even realize it. They think that they're in some blessing mode. They think that we're in this glorious, blessed time, and no, we're not. God is angry. The church has failed. The church has failed on many levels. They've allowed false teachings to come in. They've allowed all types of people that are masquerading as Christians and allowing themselves to be used. And it's unfortunate, because I thought that Allen would have been smarter than this. So I wanted you guys to see for yourself about what was going on, because Turning Point USA, it's nothing but part of a white nationalist movement that's masquerading as Christianity. Plain as that's all it is. It's nothing to do. And even if it was, there's, you know, pieces and bits of Christianity within there, and you may have some that's in there that, I mean, people that are mean well and things, but it doesn't give you the right. It does not give you the right to take your religious views and then impose it onto everybody within society. Who do you think you are? Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world. And these people worship this world. They don't worship Jesus. They're imposters. And anybody that teaches the kingdom of this world, you need to get away from them, because it's a bad witness. Many of these people that are teaching this junk, they're called the stumbling blocks. If you're a Christian and you're focused on this world, you are a stumbling block. You are a stumbling block, and guess what? The Lord's going to hold you accountable for the souls that you pushed away because of your self-righteousness, because that's really what it is for a lot of these folks as well. Self-righteousness. They think that they're better than everybody else, and they'll try to act like they're not. But if you're not, if you're not better than everyone else, why are you trying to make everyone up, pull everyone up to your standard? Man, we all got struggles and things in life. We all battling and trying to make it through day to day, all of us. And for you to sit there and try to make like we need to live up to your standards, man, go have a seat somewhere. Anybody that's teaching that need to sit down. So that's all I have for this particular video. I'm going to deal more with this white nationalism, nationalist junk, because it needs to be called out, because it's masquerading as Christianity. It has nothing to do with God. And on this channel, we talk about issues that the church run away from. Tackle Satan and his tactics. Punch him right in between the chops. Evangelism for God is your channel. My name is Maurice Braxton. Until the next video, my friends, take care. God bless.